have to let people know who I'm talking to. The legend that you are.
I am not a legend.
You are.
I'm infamous, maybe.
So today I'm talking with Colleen Moore, level 4 coach, as Owen always refers to you.
Yeah, Owen has a lot to answer for. I'm going to have words with that man.
He's in
Scotland
this weekend,
yeah.
shooting. He's not nearby for you to get revenge on, unfortunately.
Oh, that's okay.
It can
Revenge
wait.
is a dish best served cold. I will get my own back.
This podcast is predominantly about beginner's journey, so I want to start basically back at the very start. And you said that you didn't start until you were in your 50s?
Yep.
Or 50?
50.
50 specifically. And so what drew you to it in the first place?
It was on my bucket list.
Why?
It's weapons.
Okay, so do you like shooting guns and different...
Not guns, they're noisy. I don't like guns. But I do like knives and axes. So I like weapons. My husband likes weapons, but he's a gunman. So in a conversation, my birthday is the end of November. So he asked me what I wanted for my birthday and says, I don't know. He says, so what do you want to do? And then we were drinking wine and discussing stupid stuff. And it was one of the things that I said I'd like to do at some stage.
Yeah.
So he said, oh, okay. And then at Christmas, he presented me with a horsebow and a booking to do the beginner's course at Cork City Archery Club.
Very nice.
So I did that. That was my Christmas and birthday present for...
That's not fair. You can't have Christmas and birthday present.
I did get a bow and the course.
Yes.
And
we let him away this time.
And he has bought a number of my nicer bows because I've got quite a collection.
Lovely.
So I can't really blame him. And he puts up with me disappearing to Austria and Germany and Brazil and places like that when I go shooting.
So obviously you did the course and you were just like, absolutely, this is what I want to do.
Not quite.
Okay.
Cork City Archery Club at the time were Archery Island.
Okay.
And the only bows were recurves and compounds.
Okay.
And I let them know straight off, I want to shoot this, which was a traditional horsebow.
Mm-hmm.
But there was nobody there that could teach me. Nobody had an iota what to do with me.
Yeah.
So they basically left me alone to shoot. And I was getting nowhere because they just didn't have the experience. They didn't have anybody there that could give me the coaching that I needed specifically for traditional forms. And there was one comment by one gentleman, won't name him, that she'll get fed up missing and she'll go to sites in the end. I thought, you obviously don't know me very well. Then what happened was the club held a competition, and the guy who's now my coach, Thomas Coakley, up in Waterford, came down to shoot, and he was shooting longbow. And he had a look at he goes, that horsebow? I said, yeah, let me have a look at that. That horsebow was £30. He was shooting a 45-pound longbow, and he said, why don't you try that? I nearly killed myself.
God.
But he said, look, we've got a competition coming up soon. Why don't you come up? So I said, yeah. Anyway, I packed all my gear and I went up. And I got to the club and I sat there and I thought, I'm actually not going to shoot because I was very uncomfortable. But there was a lovely lady there called Phoebe McGowan. She's now passed away. And she was explaining to me that she wasn't shooting because, in her words, the couple next door were doing nighttime gymnastics and it kept her awake all night. So the two of us were sitting, watching the shooting, drinking coffee, and it was a huge hall. And she said, have you got your gear? Because I was saying I was struggling. And I said, oh, I do, but I'm not shooting. So she goes, go and get your gear. So we went to the other end of the hall. She gave me 2 hours of her time. And that was the 2 hours difference between me giving up the sport because I was getting nowhere and continuing. And without Phoebe's input, I would have quit.
It's amazing, isn't it? It just takes that one little thing.
Oh, absolutely. And she had me in stitches. I hadn't laughed so much. I was aching from laughing. But it was the best 2 hours I ever spent. 2 hours going to a competition and not shooting. And things just got better from then on.
Because you had that confidence in yourself then, probably, as well.
She fixed 2 or 3 things in that 2 hours and explained things to me as to what was going wrong and why it was going wrong.
Yeah.
And that made me understand the concepts, that I wasn't being given that information in Cork. And that wasn't because they weren't willing to give me the information. They just couldn't because they didn't have it themselves. Yeah. And it was very man-based. But yeah, those 2 hours really changed my direction. And then talking to Thomas, and I'd already done, I had already done the level 0 as Archery Ireland, give it to you. And I said, but there is no progression. I could not see. And he said, why don't you, he said, do it. I'm doing a level 1 course in a few weeks. Why don't you join IFAF, do the level 1 course?
And how soon into that was it that discussion happened then?
About 18 months.
Okay.
After I started shooting. Like I say, my bow was the only trad bow at Cork. Now at Cork, you've got everything. Compounds, longbows, trad forms, horse bows, sighted recurves, bare bow, a whole load of different shooting styles across children and adults. But at the time, I was the freak. And people that had apparently joined the club with horse bows before that, they'd been dangerous and they'd gone, as it were. But that was only through lack of training as well.
Yeah.
So I had dual membership then of IFAF and Archery Ireland for maybe 2 or 3 years before I realised that Archery Ireland competition format was just not for me. They didn't have the field clubs at the time either. And I standing shooting at targets all day long. Sorry. A wander in the woods and talking rubbish with mates is far more fun. And I wanted to stay field. So I really moved away from Archery Ireland.
But they're even very restricted in their bow types as well.
They are. It wouldn't affect me too badly because I would either shoot. No, I can't remember how you've got longbow and then instinctive, I think it is, with Archery Ireland. So I'd shoot one of those. But there just wasn't the shooting there. And a lot of Archery Ireland competitions at that time were 2-day competitions. You can't always spend 2 days away. Whereas with IFAF, apart from 1 or 2, like you've got the championships, the 3 championships, the Dunbrody 100, maybe one or 2 more. You've got UKIFAC as well, which is where Owen is this weekend. Mostly, you might do an overnighter if you're going up country.
Yeah.
But mostly they're 1 day. So guys from our own club that were Archery Ireland for years with families were able to go to a shoot on a Sunday and not have to do the 2 days. And that's partly how Cork City transitioned from Archery Ireland to IFAF, along with the fact of fees. They're so expensive with Archery Ireland, and you get nothing back if you're a grassroots archer that doesn't want to compete.
Yeah. I'm looking to have to join them now for the competitions, and it's just...
Which competitions?
The indoor ones. The indoor ones Owen wants me to do as warm-ups for March.
Oh, yeah.
And also, there's a really nice outdoor range down in Harbour House.
There is, yeah.
So to be able to use that without having to tag along with Owen all the time, I need to do a membership. So I'm trying to get that sorted. So basically, you decided shooting wasn't enough. You wanted to do more. You wanted to progress up, so you did the...
I was a riding instructor. I've been a trainer most of my life in one form or another. So I could see people struggling that didn't want to shoot recurve or compound. And like I say, we've so many, in fact, compounds are now a minority and sighted recurves are a minority in the club. But it was the fact that I wanted to do something else other than shooting targets. I wanted to go field anyway, and I wasn't getting the opportunity. So I thought, other people are interested in this, but they don't know what to do. They don't know how to go about it. So somebody had to step up and try to help others. And so I did. And then basically, Thomas, after my level 1, Thomas was talking to me one day and he said to me, I think you'd make a good coach. He said, I think you could go a lot further with coaching and help a lot more people. So he said, when I'm doing level 2, will you do the level 2? So I said, well, if IFAF approved me, yeah. So I did. Because at that time, there was no coaching structure in IFAF. That only came about with myself and Nick's involvement. So the level 2 was held by Thomas. He's a master coach with IFAA, or was. So he got me to that point. And then he took me on. He's my coach anyway. God bless him. But he then started coaching me for level 3 and more of what was involved in the level 4. And himself and another master coach prepped me and helped me through for my level 4.
So is that the only reason you progressed to the level 4? Because you were saying in a previous podcast that the only difference between level 1 coach and level 4 coach is the piece of paper. So was it just that you just wanted to keep pursuing it and doing it to the highest level?
No, that's not what I said. What I said is the only difference is that you've proved that you have spent put the time in to get that piece of paper. Somebody that has been a coach and been coaching for 40 years, say, they have vastly more experience and they have vastly more knowledge than somebody who holds that piece of paper.
Yeah.
So the piece of paper means that you have spent the time to do the course, to train yourself, or to get training to pass that course or to complete that course. The same for the level 2, the same for the level 3. So the pieces of paper only tell you how much time you've committed.
Sure, yeah.
So it's not that there's no difference between them.
Okay.
The difference is experience, that's all.
Okay.
So somebody who is a level 2 coach with 5 years experience and somebody who's a level 1 coach, now they might stay at a level 1 coach because they don't have time to commit to being a level 2 coach. But they might have vastly more experience practically. They might have 20 or 30 years experience.
Yeah.
And still only be a level 1 coach.
Yeah.
The comment was made to make people understand that we have to respect all of our coaches. I would not bypass any other level coach and go to their archer and tell them that they need to fix this. I would speak directly to that coach and say, have you noticed this in this archer? Because there are 2 reasons. One, I am not going to belittle the coach in front of their archer. And by doing that, I would be giving the archer the idea that coach wasn't competent.
Yeah.
So the archer would lose confidence in the coach. I don't have the right to do that, and no coach has the right to do that to another coach. Now, if you've got a big issue with another coach, you take them aside and you do that out of the archer's earshot. And if you're going to go head to head, you go head to head then. Because we all do at times. And if we say we don't, we're bloody liars. But we all do have situations with other coaches where you just go, for fuck's sake, what are you doing? But you don't do that in front of the archer.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I've stood there and I've watched it in Archery Ireland. I've had Archery Ireland coaches say to some archers that I've been training, you need to do this, that, and the other at a competition. That annoys me, for one, because there's no coaching at competitions. But two, they do not know that archer.
Yeah.
They do not know the issues that archer is having because they don't work with that archer on a one-to-one basis, whereas I do. So they do not have the right to take a snapshot and think they know better than that archer's personal coach.
It's really more ego than...
Oh, and there's a lot of ego in this.
Yeah.
Now, if Owen came to me and he said, look, I'm missing something, can you come and have a look? I go, yeah, okay. And then I discuss it with him, not you, unless it was glaringly obvious, in which case I'd be going, God, Owen, really? But yeah, for me to sit here, and I know coaches that would do it.
Yeah.
And say, oh, well, Owen should be getting you to do this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
That is just so totally wrong, because I've never seen you shoot, so how the hell have I got the right to comment?
Yeah.
It would be so disrespectful to Owen for me to do that. But then I'm letting myself down too, because I have standards, and that is one of my standards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a funny one, but I do know coaches that would... It's the same as I turn around to people, don't watch YouTube. Please don't watch YouTube. And they go, oh, I was watching Jake Kaminsky. Oh, God, really watching him? And they go, yeah.
I'm completely ignorant as to who that is.
Oh, you don't bother. Because he does some of these trick shots. There's another guy as well. And they're going, and they do this and they do... I said, yeah, but do you know how many takes before they actually get that?
Sure. Yeah.
I said, you're only getting... I said, he's probably missed 100 times.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, unfortunately, it's men. Oh, God. They just think it's Robin Hood style. I don't know. They're just...
But then you have other people who join and they think it's going to be, and I suppose girls, but I've never actually watched the films, but stuff like from...
Oh, the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I get that as well.
And they think that they're going to shoot and it's going to be this way and it's going to be that way and it's really easy and it's this. And I think everybody I've interviewed has said it as well. It's not as simple as pointing and shooting. There's a lot more involved to it than that.
Oh, absolutely. But I think sometimes as well as coaches, we forget that once they've done their 6-week course, they're safe to shoot.
Yeah.
Okay? Let them shoot. Leave them off to their own devices, because they are going to watch the shit on YouTube. They're going to get these notions and they're going to bring them into the club and they're going to try them out. Now, the only way they're going to understand that they need coaching is when nothing goes right for them or they injure themselves.
Yeah.
But we try to stop it before it gets to that point, if we see them at risk of injury. But leave them away, because if you try and coach somebody who isn't really interested, you're wasting your breath.
Yeah.
Waste your breath talking shite outside. Don't waste your breath on an archer who is not ready to be coached. So I have a number of both men and women that will come to me in the club and go, Col, I've got this, that, and the other. And there are some people I will spend an hour with, talking through it, talking through the logistics, the mechanics of it all, because I know that they want to understand all that. And there are other people that go, what does that matter? It's fine. So what I'm going to give that person is, if you put your hand here, your leg there, and make sure you don't tilt your head, you'll be fine. And I walk away. That's as much coaching as they get from me.
Yeah.
Because they're not ready to listen to the rest of it.
But do you think it's that they're not ready to listen? Or do you think that it's just... Because oftentimes Owen will explain stuff to me, but my brain just goes da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and won't take it in.
Oh, no. In that case, you go, Owen, shut the fuck up. I do not need all that information.
Yeah.
That is information overload. Just tell me this bit. Don't need this bit. I need this bit.
In fairness to him, he does get dog's abuse from me in that regard. And he does adapt it for me. I think he does understand at this stage.
But that's part of the interaction between a coach and an archer.
Yeah.
which is another reason that you don't go wading in to another coach's situation, because you don't know that archer.
Yeah.
And until you do know that archer, then there's no business. Now, I have guys, and I've explained stuff to them. They've come to me and I've explained stuff to them, and they're not listening. Fair enough. You're not listening. I'm not going to waste my time. And when they come back and they go, oh, this is still happening, I say, because you're still doing the same thing. You haven't changed a bit. And I walk away, and that's the end of the coaching. I'm an archer, so sometimes I like to shoot, although that's very rare at the club. And I'm a coach. But there are a lot of people there that want coaching. And the people that want the coaching will get it from me. Will get as much time as they need. There are an awful lot of people there that want a quick fix. It's like going to the doctor and getting a pill. And it's never a quick fix. Never. Yeah. With the coaching, I love the light bulb moments. So you're working with somebody and they're not getting it. They really can't get what you're, and you show them how to do it. And then they go back and they think they're doing it. And then you video them and you show them the difference between you doing it and them doing it. And then still not working, you go. So you word it differently. You put it in a different way.
Yeah.
Change the words around.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they go, oh. And then they do it and they go, oh. Yeah. And it's that light bulb moment. It makes all the struggles worthwhile, both for the archer and for the coach. So I suppose I've got the archery and the coaching together, which isn't so bad. You can take a break from one or the other.
Yeah, I thought when I started that I would do coaching, but I don't think I will.
It is better. Like, I know a few archers, lady archers. Deirdre Shannon's one, and she said, I couldn't be a coach. She said, I couldn't be a coach because I want the scores too much. And she said, I want my archery too much. And I said, then you should no business being a coach. Because when you go to coaching, you sacrifice your archery. If you're going to be a respectable, decent coach and do what you need to do, your own archery is going to suffer. Most Friday nights, I'll be glad when I retire because I can do other nights at the club. Most Friday nights, for over a year, I was taking my gear and I didn't put it up once. And it's just to the point now where it depends how many are actually in the hall as to whether or not I get my gear out the car. Because I know if there's a lot of people there, I'll get pulled this way, that way, and the other way. And that's fine. If the people at the club on a Friday night can't pull a coach's attention, then a lot of them, Friday night is the night that they go. It's the only night they go. So they don't get opportunity to work with another coach on one of the other nights. Yeah. The other coaches are there at the other nights, so they want to shoot as well on a Friday night. Yeah. So I have to, plus I coach Louise. I am Louise's coach. So when if Louise is there on a Friday night, it's usually the first chance we get to meet, although she'll be training on her own. Friday nights we get to look at stuff, any issues she's having. But then you've got all the new beginners that come off the last beginners course, and they'll go, oh, can you have a look at this? Because if I'm working with Louise on a short distance, all the newbies that are not very confident might not want to go to 18 meters, or kiddies would be shooting the shorter distance. So I get collared then, which is fine. I don't mind that at all. But you have to be happy with that. You are not going to be an Olympic champion and a coach at the same time. You cannot do both.
My perspective is more, I suppose it's ego again, but in terms of not being a good enough coach. Have I explained that properly? Have I taught them properly? Am I doing the best I can for them? Rather than any issue I would have around not shooting for myself.
Okay. So how do you know?
Because I know the type of person I am. And in the past, like when I have told people how to do stuff or whatever, I'm really like, is that okay? Do you understand? Blah, blah, blah.
When you're coaching beginners,
Mm.
which is what a level 1 coach really is, for coaching beginners in the beginner's course and taking them to maybe their first competition. That is all that is expected of you.
Yeah.
If you give more than, that's fine too. If you've more experience and you can give more than, that's perfectly fine. But it's mostly just working out their form.
Yeah.
And once they get good T form and they get good consistency, that's all it's about. It's not that hard to explain. Break it down in steps. And just
Don't convince me to become a coach, please. Just don't.
I'm a coach. What do you expect me to do? But I'm like, you have life experience comes into coaching. It's not just, can I get this right? When you're coaching from life experience as well. And this is what I think a lot of women don't understand, that their life experiences are probably far greater than men. Men have very limited life experiences. They don't do they're not empathetic the same way as women are.
We should probably put a caveat in here and say generally, not all men.
Generally. But I did say not usually. But because women do the rearing of the children in the home, and that hasn't really changed. Yes, men do participate, but they don't go through labour. They don't breastfeed. They don't have all those things. They've never had a period come upon them all of a sudden in a white dress. They haven't experienced the things that women have to go, oh shit, how do I deal with this now? In general, theirs tends to be more formalised. Their work life is more formalised. Whereas any woman working in the home, there's no such thing as a formalised lifestyle. Absolutely none at all. If your kiddie falls over and cracks their head open, you're going to the hospital. Do you know what I mean? So your life experiences will bring things to any coaching you do. You're going to be able to explain to an 8-year-old, probably a lot easier, how to get to an anchor point when they're not getting to an anchor in a more empathetic and fun way than most men, because men will go, you need to bring your elbow back here, or you need to do this, you need to get this position. Whereas I think women think outside the box a little bit. If you're trying to blackmail a child into doing something, which we do an awful lot, you'll go, if you try, this might happen. So a woman's thought processes and a man's thought processes are miles apart and totally different. This is why male and female coaches can work so well together, because they can complement each other. So there are times when I'm working with anybody, doesn't matter whether it's male or female, and it's just not working. Whatever way I'm verbalizing it, it's not working for that person. They're looking at me blank. I'm getting frustrated. They're getting frustrated.
Yeah.
So I go across the way, get Bill, get Alex, get one of the male coaches. Yeah, will you try and explain this? Will you work with this person for a bit, because they're not getting what I'm saying?
Sure.
So that's where you can't have an ego when you're coaching. You have to use all the resources possible to make that archer's experience good.
Yeah.
So women can be, I don't think we're ever going to change the fact that the vast majority of women will stay at level 1s and level 2s because of family constraints. And I genuinely believe that.
Okay.
I'm not a feminist. I'm a realist and not a feminist.
Oh, I'm a dirty feminist.
No, I think feminism is wrong. Men and women are different. They cannot be the same. I agree. Men and women doing the same job should be paid the same money. And anything a woman can physically do, fair enough. But I'm telling you, I'm not going to pull the same weights as my husband can. He's over 6 foot. We are not the same, but he can reach that high shelf. I can't. So men and women were never put on this earth to be one better than the other. They were put here to complement each other. Nature shows you that throughout the animal world. It's a complement. We complement each other. We're not better, we're not worse. We're a complement to each other. And that can work in coaching. And I really do take the mickey out of men. I keep telling them they're useless. You're only men after all. But it's messing. It's ball hopping.
Yeah.
I actually hugely respect the male coaches that I work with. I have a great working relationship with them. And I honestly don't have the issues that I know some women do, but I will stand my ground. And they know I'll stand my ground if I truly think I'm right. If I'm wrong, I will also go back and apologise.
Absolutely.
And go, lads, I really cocked up here.
Yeah.
Because you cannot be one and not the other. And I think some coaches, they won't admit when they've fucked up. I've even had Louise, who I coach, turn around and I've said, try this. And she's gone, oh, but this guy told me this. And she said, I tried it and it works. What do you think? If it's working, keep trying it.
Yeah.
Although I coach her, if she wants to experiment with something that somebody else has suggested, then it's my job to encourage her to try it out and see if it works for her. If it doesn't work for her, fine, we'll try something else. If it does work for her, excellent.
Yeah.
And I think you just cannot, these hurty feeling things, you just have to, words and hurty words, God, you have to grow up. We're adults. We're not children. You just have to go, okay, I didn't like that. It pissed me off. I'll go and kick some puppies or something.
Don't bring the dogs into it now.
I'll go and beat up a pillow. And then put it away.
Yeah.
Get on with it. Move on. There are very few things in life that are going to, that you're going to ever do in archery or coaching that are going to have a huge impact on the rest of your days.
Yeah.
So grow up. And there's a lot of women that need to grow up, I'm afraid. That'll please people. I think that's something else that, like, female coaches, they don't understand that they can walk away. They don't understand that they don't have to be nice. Because there's no point in wasting your time and wasting your breath on somebody who's not interested.
Yeah.
The other thing is that I've seen personally, and I've had to walk away because if I didn't walk away, I was going to lose my shit, is male coaches walking over to a female coach who's trying to explain something to an archer and just wading in and way past her. Now me, I would take the head off the man. But in the circumstance, I had to walk away. I really had to walk away because I was fit to be in his face. That's if that bloke had respect for that coach, he would never have done that. But he did it because she was a woman.
Yeah.
I've also seen situations where I've been at another club, not my own club. They don't do it, but then again, they've got the thundering bitch there to tell them, don't you do that. But at another club, I saw a young female coach go over to a male coach for advice and walked back to the archer to discuss with the archer what the information she got, and the coach came over and butted in. And she asked for your advice. She didn't ask you to take over the coaching session. And that annoys me. But in part, that's women's fault. Don't put up for that. Don't put up with that shit.
But the problem with standing up and saying, absolutely not, that's not acceptable, calling out that behaviour, and I have no issue calling out that behaviour, by the way. So I'm not saying that it's a problem I have. The problem a lot of women would have then is you get the pushback of, you're being dramatic, you're doing this, you're trying to cause issues, why are you stirring up shit, all of that kind of stuff. Because people don't like being called out on their behaviour. And for far too long, women have just minimised themselves for other people's comfort. And it's about time that people start not doing that, because my comfort supersedes your behaviour. You know what I mean? If you're coming over and you're behaving a certain way, yeah, I'm going to call it out. I'm not going to stay quiet for you to be comfortable when you're making me uncomfortable.
No, but at the same time, I'm a strong woman and I've had to be. I was widowed at 30 with 4 kids. So you become a strong woman.
Yeah.
So I won't take that.
Yeah.
I won't take shit from anybody. But I think in that situation, women have to stand up for women.
Absolutely.
If somebody...
But then you get the whole, what are you getting involved for? You're creating drama. It's just, shut your face.
Go away and calm down. You're only a man, is the answer to that. Come back when you're going to be civil.
Yeah. And that pisses me off, because they're like, you're so emotional. And I'm like, have you seen the way you are acting?
I have seen. Years ago, I used to coach UCC, the college team. Great bunch of kids. Fantastic people. I'd never laughed so much. They used to take the mickey out of me, but I'd have them doing all sorts of weird stuff, because to make it fun as well, because it is target archery for them, because they're Archery Ireland. We do other stuff as well. And I have training sessions where we were just playing silly games. But they were hosting the nationals, the student nationals. And I had a coach have one of my young archers in tears. My God, did I tear strips off him for that? You don't do that. As a coach, you don't do that. Now, if you were, there have been times, I shock men because I won't take their shit. And that's the reason I'm called the bitch. But I own that. I'm happy with that. But at the same time, I've had people say, oh, so-and-so thinks you're a bitch. Oh, yeah, fine. I don't care.
I'll go home and cry about it and write about it in my diary on my life.
But there are some, yeah, but then you've got women that it does bother and it does upset. It's quite difficult to maintain a coaching license within IFA. When Nick and I were putting things together, the vetting was one thing you have to have. The safeguarding one you have to have. You have to hand in your logs, your coaching logs every year. You have to hand in your classification cert card every year with scores on to prove your shooting as well. And the reason we've made it that it's not, you can't just get that cert and go, I'm a level 1 coach and stay a level 1 coach and do nothing about it. If you're not doing some personal development, now personal development can be just working with beginner coaches, or working with beginners, or working with children to advance them. Personal development doesn't have to mean you have to go to the next level or the next level. Yeah. It just means that you are working with coaching. You're not just standing there with this piece of paper going, oh, I'm a coach, look at me, which some coaches do.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas if you have to maintain logs and shooting competitions, there are dispensations if through illness or disability, that you can still maintain your coaching if you can't compete. If you've torn your rotator cuff, you're not going to compete that year.
And I think that's important, because then you do have people who are signing up for the wrong reasons, for their ego.
Oh, we've had...
I'm a coach, I'm wonderful, but they're not giving anything back.
I think this is why Nick and I started the process after I came back from Germany after I did my level 3. Ifaf asked me, would I sort out coaching?
Sure.
So I started putting in procedures and a progression, because there was just nothing. And then through illness, I had to step back, and Nick took over as head coach, and he's developed it far more rapidly because he's into that sort of thing than I would have.
Yes.
And he's done a fantastic job as a head coach. Nick is fantastic. And the thing is, we work very closely together. We have similar ways of understanding the progression and also understanding what the organization needs and Archery needs for people to develop. And that doesn't mean that people have to compete. It doesn't mean they only have to compete if they choose to. We have a number of archers at the club. All they want to do is turn up, loose arrows down the range, or go out in the woods, shoot a few arrows. They don't want to compete. They might compete if there's something in Cork, or if there's a whole gang of us going to as a group. But there are a lot of archers that they've been at the club as long as I have, and they have never shot a competition. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, because they're the people, through their memberships, keep our organisations and our other archers, our competition archers, going.
Yeah, everybody has a value, regardless.
Oh, absolutely. I think this is where Archery Ireland have gone wrong. They do not appreciate their grassroots archers. And they're the ones that support the organisation. They support all the archers that go abroad, because without that money, without their memberships going into the clubs, going into the organisations, then the archers that need backing wouldn't be able to have it. Archery, since I've been involved, has absolutely ballooned.
It does seem to be getting more and more popular, doesn't it?
I think now more and more people realize it's something that whole families can do. And I think the more that is promoted, the more women will be involved.
100%.
Because if they're bringing their kiddies with them, then they're bringing the next generation on, which it ain't the likes of us that are going to be the future of archery. It's the likes of those little bodies.
Yeah, that's the thing. All three of us here shoot normally every Saturday.
Absolutely.
And if there is a week where our son is unwell or something like that, one of us will stay here with them. But if the other person can go and that kind of thing. But like, he has his own bow there and he has his own stuff, and it is very much a family pursuit.
Absolutely.
A few episodes ago, Owen asked me, I think, like where I wanted to progress or whatever. And I'm outside of trying to do this competition or these competitions coming up, I really am interested in getting more women involved and more young girls involved and retaining them, because of the statistics of drop of girls in sports and things like that. I'm really interested in kind of seeing what those reasons are. And also, archery as a sport or a pursuit, whichever way you want to look at it, isn't traditionally, I think, seen as a women's sport.
It is and it isn't. Historically, it's been quite a women's sport. Some of the first Olympian sport for women was archery, and Ireland did pretty well. Historically, the reason for it was because women didn't have to bear anything. They could wear the long skirts, and it wasn't unladylike, because they were shooting target archery, which is in one position on a flattish surface. So there was nothing unladylike about it.
Yeah, no showing of ankles.
Yes. I wrote a couple of articles for Tifam around lady archers as well. Now, trying to think of all their names. But historically, like in England, one of the first big competitions would have been what was then the organisation that was the organisation in England. I can't remember its name. But they held ladies' competitions, and women did as well as men, and better in some cases. So historically, archery has been a ladies' pursuit. The drop-off with women, it's more to do with nature, not nurture.
Okay.
Most women, they come up through their teens
Yeah.
and they'll shoot, go to college, finish college, or go to work. And then somewhere in that time, they have children. So they don't have time to follow their own pursuits, because even now, women are predominantly the carers in the home. And that's partly women's nature. We're not happy to leave our children while we go away. All we do is fret, and then what's the point of going away and doing something if you want to be back with your children? So women let their sports go. It doesn't matter what sport it is or hobby.
Yeah.
Then they might come back to it bits and pieces if their children take it up. Then you have the situation where the children go to college, they're still doing most of the household chores and the minding of children. And then they get to an age where they might have elderly parents to have to be minding.
Yeah.
So when that's happening, everything, their life gets put on hold again.
Yeah.
So women don't get involved. And then I didn't even start archery until I was 50. And then you get another cohort of women that I've noticed with our club. They're older women with teenage children, and they've got their lives back.
Mm-hmm.
They're not quite in that point where they've got family to mind, elderly family to mind. That is why women don't progress. In IFAA, the work group is working on finding out the issues behind women not progressing through the organisation to higher positions. I think there is only one other female level 4 coach in the world, and she's a German lady called Ulrika. She's lovely. But in the most part, lady coaches go to level 1, maybe level 2 in my experience, but they really don't have the time to invest in what's needed to do level 3 and level 4. And it's the same in the IFAA. Women they tend to traditionally be like secretaries or PAs. Now, Lynn Ellingworth is secretary at the moment. She's very involved with the work group as well. But they just don't have the time to commit. And it doesn't matter what you do or how you try to facilitate it, they genuinely don't have the time to commit. And what most women won't do is compromise their family for something else.
Yeah.
But that's the nature of women.
Sure.
So the women that can do,
Yeah.
if they have the opportunity, I'm free. All my kids are grown up and left home. But in your position, you have a young fella. You couldn't just go off to Germany to do a training course at the drop of a hat. So this is where having to travel abroad to do stuff isn't necessarily possible for women. And it's the same with, even Ireland's a small country. There's not that much travelling. Like, I came from West Cork and it was a 3-hour drive. However, if you're talking about women in other countries involved with IFAA,
yeah,
to go to a meeting for the organisation could be a really long drive. And there are some things that you have to be present for. You can't sign papers over the internet. You can't meet with delegates from other organisations over the internet and get stuff done.
Yeah.
It's fine for general meetings, but I find that it's so impersonal, things get forgotten. If you're sitting at a table writing notes, you go home with those notes and then you look through them and you go through them. If you have a conversation, even if the notes are sent through, if you don't get time to read your emails, which I don't, it's not that I don't get time. I don't necessarily, I have better things to do. So those things could get forgotten until the next meeting, and you think, oh God, I forgot to go through those notes.
Yeah.
So women's lives are controlled by family life, whereas men can come, and sometimes when you're tired because of family commitments and other commitments, it's just so hard to go, okay, I have to drop all this to go into this meeting. Even to find time to sit at a computer, if all you want to do is have half an hour headspace because you haven't had a chance the rest of the day. And it's grand for all these great ideas of getting women involved. Yeah, but hang about. Before you can do that, you have to look at what's happening.
Yeah.
You can put all the things in place that you want to enable women. But women do not have the same freedoms as men, even now. Partially, that's women's choice. It's not enforced on them. For instance, I didn't go to work until my children all started full-time school. That was my choice. But it was my choice around my family. And most women make choices around their family. So it's good that the organizations are thinking we need to put these things in place. But I think the bigger danger is they're going to make females feel inadequate because they can't take up these positions. Sure. So there's a very fine balance between encouraging women to get involved at a higher level and absolutely putting them off and making them feel inadequate. Any women lately I've trained a lot of women, and I tend to say to them, you have to put your family life first. One or two that have gone, really sorry I missed last week. You don't have to be sorry. This is a pastime. This is your leisure time. This is your headspace.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not accountable to me. And I think women, when they're being coached, need to be told they are not accountable to us as coaches. We are coaching them and we've given our time to them, fair enough. But we don't expect them to jump to our tune. Or we shouldn't. We shouldn't. I think there are some coaches that forget that. And I think when we're promoting the idea of women getting involved in higher levels of organizational situations within the sport, what we have to do is promote the fact that even if you're a mother and say you're an accountant, you might not shoot, you drag your backside around to all these shoots because your kiddie's shooting, but you have a valuable skill as an accountant. Put yourself forward for a treasurer if you have time for your club, because that's highly valued by the club members to have somebody that can do that. So you don't have to be a shooting mum to get involved.
Absolutely.
And I think we need to encourage that a little bit more as well, that those poor mums that are hanging around in the background, draw them into the club organisation. Or at Cork, we have a summer barbecue. Now, we have an in-club competition, which is good fun. It's 3 legs. It's held Easter, Halloween, and Christmas. It's the end score that matters. So if you miss a leg, but you score massively in the other 2 legs, you're fine. And then it's awarded at the summer barbecue. But the summer barbecue is not just for archers. It is for archers and their families. So we encourage archers, aunties, uncles, cousins,
whomever. If
you're involved, if you're a family member of somebody involved with our club, come along. There's going to be plenty of food. We have silly games. We have the bows out. We have the, what do you call it? The archery, not clay. They're not clay, they're round things, but it's like clay pigeon shooting, but it's archery. So we've got the launcher, so we get that out, but it's fun. So we do some fun stuff, and we don't drink alcohol, but we do have plenty of non-alcoholic beer. And it's just a big family get together. And at the end of the day, the cup is presented to whoever wins. And everybody's had a great day. But people have got involved because of that.
Yeah.
We do sessions at the Cork Summer Show and at the military show, which is August, I think. We get a lot of people from that as well. We do the Halloween, we light the bonfire down at the Yule Festival. We also do a session down there for their festival. We don't actually make a lot of money out of that one because it's like a family autumn festival, but it gets us out there, gets our name out there. It highlights the sport, which is, we need to highlight the sport, but highlight it and bring families in rather than just try and encourage women. At the moment, I'm coaching. There seems to be a lot of young teenage girls at the club, which is great. Some of them have come up from, like Louise Cashman. She started at the club at 8. With her dad had been shooting for years. Bill's been a major stay with both Archery Ireland and IFA. And I've been coaching her the last 5 or 6 years, but I'm coaching her to coach as well. So when you've got a young female, because specifically that's what we're talking about, encouraging women, then they need to be encouraged to coach as well, because that's where the next generation of coaches are coming from.
Absolutely.
And if we want to encourage more female coaches, then the female archers that are going to international level, we need to encourage them to pass on their knowledge.
Yeah. Like, representation is a huge thing in keeping people involved, like women involved and that kind of thing. I've always said that about sports. Like, myself and Owen, there's a lot of chat we've had, and I appreciate his viewpoints on it, but he is a man. But it's interesting the questions he asks, and that obviously he has 2 daughters and his wife is involved as well. But like I was saying to him, representation matters. Seeing women involved at all levels is a huge kind of motivation, I would say, for people joining, even like different abilities, different body types. Seeing how archery as a whole is generally very inclusive is a major drive, I think, to encouraging everyone to join, to give it a go.
Absolutely.
Because as he had said in the past, and I suppose it is true, archery has often been seen as quite an elitist sport. I'm not sure if you disagree because you have a look on your face. But to me, anyway, I would have seen it as a sport that probably was a little bit exclusionary. But it wasn't until I got involved that I realised, actually, no, it's actually very inclusive. It's probably one of the more inclusive things that I've ever done.
Yes, it is. There are a certain group of people, and you get it in every single sport. It's not just specific to archery. Think they're better than everybody else, but you get that in every sport.
You do, absolutely. Yeah.
And they're actually the assholes because they're not doing anything for the sport. Because what they're doing is, by being standoffish, pushing people out of the sport. People are going, no, don't want to be with them. Whereas when you've got idiots, one of the things that, like all the kids at the club, they will absolutely take the piss out of me. They love to see me do something. If I get my compound out, the absolute slaking I get from everybody.
I didn't think you were a cheater. I didn't think you'd use a compound, but that's fine.
I had to do that to do my level 3 and 4.
Cheating.
You have to know understand the basics. Owen was told the same, because Owen, when he did his level 2, and I said to him, if you have any hope of doing your level 3, you have to understand this. And now he's cheating big time.
Yes.
I only cheat once in a while. But yeah, like, the kids know they can absolutely take the mickey out of me. They'll come over to me and they'll go, Colleen, why did you do that? Do what? So-and-so said you did. Oh, I did, yeah. And it's just, why? I thought it was funny. It wasn't. But I'm not special. And this is why when your first introduction, when Owen first introduced me to you, and you go, oh, the level 4 coach, and I cringed because I absolutely hate it. They all take the piss out of me.
But
and
see that
they need to be able to.
Yeah, but no, that was because literally every time Owen says your name, it's just there is an attachment. It's like Colleen Moore, level 4 coach. You're not just Colleen Moore, you're
No,
Colleen Moore, level 4 coach. And in my brain, just, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. And the minute I said it, I was like, you're a 45-year-old woman. Like, why couldn't you not do that? It was complete just word vomit. And the minute I said it, I was like, you're a fucking idiot. Because even you gave him a look and he was just like, what?
yeah, it just means I put in the time for the training.
Yeah.
Doesn't make me special.
But I suppose then the counter argument to that is it does make you special in terms of you are one of 2 or whatever level 4 women coaches currently. So while it doesn't make you special in a, oh, let's all worship her way, it does make you special. And you can't argue with that. So there you go. We'll move on to the next thing.
I can argue with it. But I'm not quite sure what I want to say about it. Because I don't usually it's just there. Yeah, sometimes they're a strange situation, and yeah.
Now that I have her speechless, that concludes episode 1 of this 2-part series. The second episode will be released on Wednesday the 23rd. I hope you've enjoyed listening to my chat with Colleen thus far, and you will join us for the second part. Until Wednesday, stay in by the wall and mind the arrows.